Dave Pinson here, moving to the Philippines. Um, I might just drop this channel. I was hoping I could make some kind of money off it, but I'm not the guy. I'm not the guy who's going to have the right picture on here. I'm not going to probably have the right titles for my videos. I don't have a camera, so I can show you, walk around and show you really cool stuff, like becoming Filipino, like that guy. I appreciate him, but that's not me. So I thought about doing like becoming Filipino, like calling it becoming Filipino. What does that mean? That means you need to learn patience, brother. I was talking about Filipino time. That's all about having patience. Things don't work out the way you think they would. Some days, businesses don't run the way we want them to because where I'm from, if you walk into an office of someone that sells insurance and you tell their secretary because they're not there, I would like to buy some insurance, and then they never call you, or you can't get a hold of a business because they have a phone number, they have a website, they have a Facebook page, and they never call you, and things are always breaking here, like more than the U.S. Like things are just not the right quality of what you're used to because you're spoiled. I'm spoiled, right? So becoming Filipino, I think, is becoming patient. Becoming when we're driving, I don't know. There's not a time when my wife and I drive, even if it's for 20 minutes, where one of us doesn't get upset or both of us at the way these people drive. Right? I say these people, right? So I'm not Filipino because I have learned to merge and flow, and I have learned to drive like they do. But when the person just pulls right out in front of you and almost causes an accident and doesn't look, or crosses the highway and doesn't look, or bad things happen and people do stupid things, you get upset, right? And they all get upset. I mean, road rage is a big deal. It's not. I haven't seen it where I live, but I've seen plenty of videos of it in Manila, where people, well, a lot of Filipinos, they have these little sticks and pipes and stuff under their in their vehicles that they will beat you up if you do something bad to them. Road rage is a big deal in Manila. Other places, right? I guess I could do one on road rage, but becoming Filipino means, I guess it mostly for me it means learning to have a good attitude about anything that happens because I'm here. It doesn't matter how it is in the U.S. It doesn't matter where I come from. It doesn't matter that my wife and I. She's worse than me. So, she lived 14 years in the U.S. and she became Americano, and now she's, I think, more Americano in many ways. So it doesn't do us any good to sit there and let me just give you this story here. Maybe this will make sense. Um, a rock is a rock, so it's no good. It's no good wishing a rock was a diamond or something. So let me tell you what I think. What this means. Let me tell you a little story from my life, and maybe this will make sense of what I mean by becoming Filipino. To me, what it means. Accepting. I used to work at a place that made manufactured homes in Oregon. I don't want to give the name of the place because I don't want to give the person away who I'm talking about because anybody who worked for them would know who he was. So at the time I worked for them, their big deal in the cell, the reason I love the company, first of all, I think it was the best manufactured home ever made. The one that they made in Oregon because of the way they made the floors, the way they made the walls, just the way it was they sold me on the product, so I was selling people on. But one of the things we tell people in our pitch when we're selling it, because I was a salesman, sometimes a good salesman, sometimes a bad salesman because I was too honest. Anyway, that's another story. But one of the things we tell people is you can get this wherever you want. You can order your own cabinets. You can have melamine. You can have oak. You can have your own kind of appliances. You can have the upgraded. You can have the low. You can have your own flooring put in. You can change the floor plan a little bit here and there. But then whenever we do it, the guy who ran the factory, the guy who was in charge of production, would always would always complain. He would always moan and complain and what are you guys doing? You be doing this. We can't be doing that. I said, it says right here we can, right? So everybody would all give him. I don't want to give you his name. I really want to give you his name, but I don't because I don't want to offend anyone. So one day we're at a sales meeting and everybody's complaining about him. What the heck's wrong with this guy? He's telling us we can't do this. It says right here we're going to do this. And then I said, you guys are expecting him. You know who he is already. So just get over it. This is who he is. He's always going to be this way. He's not going to change. A rock is a rock. Don't expect a rock to be a diamond, right? Don't, the Philippines is the Philippines. Things happen as they happen. It takes longer to do things here. Whenever something, yesterday I had my laptop repaired. It was great. We found a place in town. He didn't pick up the phone. Okay. But we went there, 1 hour. He said, it'll be done in 1 hour. Now, was it done in 1 hour? I don't know. We got stuck up in shopping and we were like 3 hours, 2 hours later. But he fixed it. I'm using it right now. It was a decent price. It was done. He's there for me, right? So some things, good things happen here, but I don't expect it anymore. I just expect it's going to be hard. It's going to take time. Things are going to break. Learn to accept things. You know, the we got another hole in our water tank out here that works with our water pump. So Papa had to. My wife's dad, I call him Pops, but if they call him Papa, that's because the locals call him something else. I forgot. He has. We all have nicknames in the Philippines. He had to weld it for us, so we were out of water for 2 days, right? So I was upset. Oh, why is the water out? Why is this thing broke again? You know, what are we doing here? Well, you know. And then my laptop broke. Oh, everything's breaking. I need to leave the Philippines. No, I'm here for a purpose, and that purpose is not what this website's about. That's my ministry thing over there on the other side. Don't need to know about that. I might put a link in the description about that if you're interested. But becoming Filipino, I think, is about learning how to accept things as they are. Filipino time, things are going to happen. Bad things happen. Don't get emotional. Let me just close with this. Also, I said let me close, but let me close again. I always do this because new ideas pop in my mind. I'm a very emotional person. I'm a very emotional person. I get upset sometimes, but when I do, I'm over it just like that. Like it's like a, I don't know what it is, like a thermostat or something, like one of those things. What do they call those? These cookers that have the steam in them, and when you release the steam, that's me. And then I'm over it. So whenever I do that in front of Filipinos, they freak out. My wife says, "Don't do that. They're scared. You scared them." Why? I'm over it. Yeah, but they don't know that. They think you're mad. Or I'll use hyperbole. I'll say stuff like, "I'm gonna kill that guy." I'm not gonna kill him. Let me see if I can run into this guy. Those are stupid things that I say. They are stupid things. But Filipinos, that's not Filipino. Filipinos don't do that. I mean, not the ones I hang out with. My wife always tells me, you can't act like that in front of people because they'll be scared. They think you're gonna do something. When you're driving and you're goofing around teasing people, you have to be careful because they don't know you. So you have to be calm. So I'm learning to become. I think become Filipino for me is taking on a new meaning. It's like namaste. As they say, I'm not of that faith, but accepting life on life's terms. They used to say when I was in recovery. So becoming Filipino. God bless you guys. Ta ta for now.